What's up, Thrashers, and welcome back to 5 Questions with Levi the Return, Episode 5. We've been going strong with this show, and I'm back yet again for another week to answer everybody's questions that you guys have bestowed upon me to answer. Once again, every video or every episode of this series, a reminder, if you'd like to ask me one question, leave one question per user in the comments section below, and I will answer them for next week's video. But without further ado, it's question time!
Now why don't I come over there and tell you what sucks ass, mister?
So in case none of you guys understand what Keith Miller Jr. there was asking, it was all about a particular stupid comments video where my good buddy Kamikaze Games had a comment about socks and stuff. How about I play that clip for you, ladies and gentlemen?
This YouTuber sucks ass.
Now why don't I come over there and tell you what sucks ass, mister?
Question number 2 comes from the Dimebag Daryl account. He asks, which version of Dave Mustaine was better, when he was in Metallica or Megadeth? That's a good question, because I know a lot of people have their opinions about Dave Mustaine, and we all have said our bits about him. But as far as which version of Dave do I think was better, I'd have to go with him in Megadeth, even though Dave says it himself that he feels he was better and faster when he was in Metallica. But I mean, look at what he's done with Megadeth. I mean, Megadeth, one of the biggest metal bands in the world. And yeah, in Metallica, he helped write quite a lot of classic stuff that ended up on Kill 'Em All, and even 2 songs on this particular album, Ride the Lightning. And they were all great songs in their own right. But I feel as far as his lyrics, his performance, I feel like he's better in Megadeth. Plus, listen to some of the solos he comes up with. Like the solo he does at the end of the song Holy Wars. Mwah. Even though Marty Friedman had, what, like 2 solos on that song? 2 or 3 solos? Mustaine had the best solo of the song towards the end, and it was a ripper and a half. Trying to think of other solos. The solo in Washington Is Next off United Abominations, where he's doing this crazy stuff with his thumb and his pinky or ring finger on the fretboard. Other great Megadeth solos I could think of off the top of my head. The Wake Up Dead solo where he's tapping on the fretboard. So yeah, I feel Mustaine better in Megadeth than he was in Metallica in terms of performance, but you can't deny those songs he wrote for Metallica were classic songs in their own right. Question number 3 from Space Metal Ferrari 248. What are my least favorite races won by my favorite drivers, whether it be Carl Edwards, Martin Truex, Ryan Blaney, etc.? I don't really know. I guess for Edwards, my least favorite win from Edwards, honestly, I would say the first time he won at Pocono, only because I feel like Brian Vickers was the better car that day, or had the better car that day. Edwards, he was definitely a great second runner in that race, but yeah, that race just really not all that memorable to me. That or the Bristol race he won in, what was it, 2014, where it got rained out. I guess that one would be another one I didn't care that much for. As far as Truex goes, even though it was a monumental win, the race itself was bad, the 2016 Coke 600. Yeah, he dominated that race. There was really no competition in that race. Truex just obliterated everybody. And then as far as Ryan Blaney goes, if I had to choose a least favorite win from Blaney, well, he's only had 4 wins. I guess his last win at Talladega, I didn't really care all that much for, because he did kind of rub Eric Jones up into the wall. But Jones still crossed the line in a good spot, so it is what it is with all that. So yeah, if I had to recap, for my least favorite win for Edwards would be either that Bristol race that got rained out or his first Pocono win. For Truex, Coke 600 2016, just because he just dominated the field. It was a great moment for him, don't get me wrong, but yeah, he really had no competition in that race. And then for Blaney, if I had to choose a definite one, yeah, the last Talladega race. Just me. Question number 4 from Red Racer 1980. To his last album that came out, what was it, 2016? It was alright. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I prefer Rob Zombie back when he was in White Zombie than solo Rob Zombie. Apart from the first 2 albums that Rob Zombie did, those 2 albums were really good. Haven't really, other than their last album in 2016, haven't really paid much attention to Rob Zombie. And speaking of that new album, I will probably review the new album when it comes out, or whenever I feeling like reviewing it. Like, I know people keep asking, where's the Moonspell review? Trust me, I will get to it when I can. I'm doing Twitch streams, I got work, and I'm doing stuff like this. A lot on my plate right now, but regardless, what are my thoughts on the upcoming album? It should be an enjoyable listen. I don't think Rob Zombie's ever put out a bad album in any of his projects, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see how this one's going to turn out. If it's going to be better than the last one, I guess that remains to be seen. But anyways, yeah, this was a very short episode of 5 Questions with Levi, not gonna lie, but still we got some questions in for the week. As always, remember, if you want to ask me a question for next week's episode, send 1 question in the comments section below for you guys to have me answer. But until next time, horns high, and I will see you in whatever I do next. It's about as good of an application we could get it to. It actually does. It actually looks really good. So now, pouring it all back into the pan. Ow! Pan's still a little hot. So let me get the oven mitt back on. Try and shake it around. And now we put it back into the oven for about 3 minutes to really kind of get that caramelized factor. So 3 minutes and then we'll plate and it'll be time to eat. It's a moment of truth time. the finished product.